Hi, everyone. Thank you for your patience. It's a little bit confusing around here. Just start to get settled in. I'm just going to take some nice, deep, clearing breaths. It's actually going to be more of an experiential process. More than a written process. I'm not actually going to be standing up here lecturing you. It's going to... How is everybody meditating sitting up? Pretty good? Okay, so there is other space too. If you're somebody that prefers to just lay down and sink in, then... Yeah. So I'm going to invite whoever feels like their seating situation isn't ideal for them to be able to really go deeper into a process, to just create that space however you want. I think it'd be okay if we move some chairs off to the side, anything like that. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to tell you a little bit of the background of Soul Garden Alchemy. Soul Garden Alchemy is many things. Soul Garden Alchemy is the process of transmutating deep emotional patterns and programs and cultivating the life that you wish to have. And we do that through emotional alchemy. And that emotional alchemy is layered into a metaphor of gardening, to put it basically. Soul Garden Alchemy came to me originally as a healing practice for myself. A little bit of a story. I was up on a mountain doing some work in California. I was pregnant, just going into my second trimester. I was in an open relationship, a poly relationship, and I got pregnant by somebody, and then my dominant partner he was fine, he was stoked. And then when I was up on the mountain, I get this call saying how he had met somebody that was really excited about exploring monogamy with him. And he was excited about that too. And so here I was, alone, pregnant, in a different country, on the top of a mountain, where my friends were being a little bit weird and distant, and I just felt really, really alone, really isolated. And all of these programs and patterns and experiences of unrequited love and abandonment and started to rise up, and it was like choking me. And of course, pregnancy hormones didn't help. And so what I did is I ended up taking it we had an outdoor shower, really gorgeous, overlooking the valley, and I took it to the shower because I'm a water baby. And I just it was hot water too, which was so nice. Let the water pour over me and just asked my guides to give me vision and to see what was going on within me that was creating this. And as I closed my eyes, I saw this incredibly, almost scary looking thorn bush growing out of my heart. This pain just manifested as this thorn bush and started growing into, organ systems and just like all over my body. And it was really scary at first, and I just wanted to shut it off. But then I'm like, no, I'm over this. I'm tired of this. I asked for this. Okay, now what do we do about it? And so at first I was just like, I don't know, just get it out. And so I pulled all of these roots out. And it was really painful because I hadn't gotten the key piece yet. Gratitude, being grateful for the process, being grateful for the medicine that it was offering me. And that came years later. And for 2 years, I just was ripping things out of me. And so I did that. I just ripped it all out. And then I had this big mass of roots. And I gathered them all up and I was like, now what do I do with it? And it took me back to a memory of a lucid dream that I'd had the year before, where I was in a sunlit kitchen, my childhood kitchen, and I was planting seeds. And one I just planted, put it in a pot, set it to the side. The second one I planted it and was just gave it a little kiss. And it went boop, and it sprouted. And I was oh, cool. So I just shot some love at it. And it went and it grew up a little bit more. I was like, wow, okay. And so I remember taking this like big blast and just like blasting it with love. And it just like and turned into this beautiful sunflower. And so that memory came back to me. I was like, oh yeah, okay, blast it with love. I can do that. So that's what I started with. I started with just, the basic feelings of like, okay, love and light and da-da-da. And then I was like, started getting into the more specifics. I'm like, but wait, if this is my story of love, how do I want to experience love? How do I want to be held? How do I want to see? What do I want to feel like? And I started tuning into this, how do I want to be held? How do I want to be seen? How do I want to show up for my partner or for my relationships at all? Friends, family, whatever. And so I started tuning into the specifics of those energy sequences and those energy patterns and the emotions involved. And then it started to come out and it started to fill up my heart and flow out of my hands, and it started to come out as color. There were smells, there was like sounds of laughter, there was all these like beautiful different inner sensory experiences that was flowing out of me and into these roots, and the roots started to saturate and they started to grow and glow. And then once it got to this point where it was so saturated, it was almost blinding. I was like, now what? Now I've got this big glowing massive roots and this big gaping hole. Well, I guess I'll just put it back. And when I did, I felt this new information, these new energetics flow back into my heart, flow back through to all those places, to my body. And not only that, I also recognized that it was flowing through my timelines. It was flowing through my incarnations. It was flowing through every place where this energy signature had previously been present. And what happened was something new grew. A beautiful rose. And this beautiful rose grew up, and it was pristine and it was perfect, and sure, it was a little bit spiky still, but it was like so cohesive. And it was just, and then I could smell it. I could smell that scent of love, and it came through as this essence of the rose. And it went through and into my body and into my lungs, and I could feel it nourishing every one of my cells, carrying with it this new information that I had created for myself, this new story. And so I worked with that process for about 2 years. Anything that came up, anything that I noticed were emotionally, and I could, because I really feel my emotions in my bodies. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience where you have an emotion and you can feel it. You can feel where those patterns are locked in, right? And so I did the process on myself. Like I'd feel it, do the process. And then after about 2 years, I got this like download about grace and how it didn't have to be almost a re-traumatizing process. Because every time I'd pull it out, it was like, I'd be like, doing the classic part, like, a lot of like that visceral kind of feeling. But the process of grace and gratitude was what transformed this whole experience for me. Because once I started to allow the plant not just to be an invasive thing in my experience, but a teacher, being able to teach me about why it was there, what it was doing, what medicine it had to offer, then the roots just came up all by themselves. They just let go. And then it was graceful to pull up and to utilize. So that's what I'm offering to you today, is a guided facilitated journey. We use hypnotic process because as soon as I got that grace part, it was like that shift, and I was like, sweet, now it's time to share it. It's such an incredibly powerful medicine that has the opportunity to take back control over your energy patterns and experiences. And it's incredible the amount of things that can come up from that. I had one friend who tuned in just on an online journey. It wasn't even in the same room as me. It's in a totally different town. And she wrote me later saying how for 5 years her and her partner were trying to get pregnant. And they tried everything, and nothing was working. And for her, what her experience was, it was like she saw this giant tree, and this tree was herself. And it like took over the whole garden. Came from a place of insecurity. of having to be this bigger than life personality to get the attention that she so dearly craved. But what was happening, she was blocking out everything from the garden. Nothing else had a chance to grow. And so when she did that work, she said her next cycle, she got pregnant. So this is a possibility and the opportunity to transform whatever it is that is in your experience that is holding you back from really stepping into that power and that magnificence, that soul purpose, that birthright that we all have to be living purposeful, powerful lives. And so, again, I'm really excited to share this with you for our lovelies that just joined us, where it's going to be a guided meditation. And so, however it is that you need to feel comfortable, whether it's sitting, laying, feel free to get into that process now. So, let's take a couple of nice, deep, grounding breaths. I'd like to invite you to follow along with me in a prayer for healing, a healing invocation. Using whatever words are the most true for you. You can say them out loud or in your heart space, in your mind, whichever feels best. And it goes like this. Dear Universal Source, God, Goddess, Creator, all my guides and ascended ancestors, I call upon the four winds of change, the four elements and the seven directions to ask for healing for my highest benefit. For everything that I am consciously or unconsciously aware of in my morphogenetic, epigenetic, cellular, and DNA levels throughout all timelines, incarnations, or dimensions. I ask that the divine specialist of whatever I need work with me, and all other beings of light, love, and healing benevolence only are welcome. In gratitude, I thank you. Taking a beautiful, nice, deep, clearing breath all the way in and all the way out. Breathing in the beautiful pranic divine essence into your lungs. And exhaling fully, releasing even longer than your in-breath. As you breathe in through your nose, perhaps you can notice that the air is a little bit cooler on your nostrils. And as you breathe out, it's a little bit warmer. Every breath you take is going to draw in the light of healing. Every breath out is going to carry away resistance. Every breath you take in is going to draw the prana and life force in on a cellular level. And every breath out, releasing any distraction from your day. As you continue to cycle your breath in and out, in and out. Every breath drawing you deeper and deeper into relaxation, deeper and deeper into trust. You may hear sounds of living going on around you. There are always such noises, such as voices, animals, laughter. But all of these noises are only going to serve to bring you into deeper and deeper relaxation, deeper and deeper into trust. At all times during this process, my voice will be a guide for you, reminding you of your total safety and total well-being. Imagine, sense, see, feel, or experience yourself in a beautiful meadow. It's bright and the sun is out, and you can see the green and the speckles of colored flowers all around you. Looking down at your feet, you can see them planted firmly into the ground as you are so deeply supported by the earth below you. Perhaps as you look around, you can see the dapples of color as the grass waves in the slight breeze. Perhaps you can hear the buzz of bees and other insects, the songs of birds. The grasses dancing. Perhaps you could even take a beautiful, nice, deep breath in and smell the sweetness in the air, the freshness of life. Perhaps you can even taste the sweetness of the pollen dancing on the air currents on your lips and your tongue. Perhaps you can imagine, sense, see, feel, and experience yourself walking through this meadow, step by step. Perhaps you can feel the tickle of the grasses on your legs, through your toes, on your knees, hearing the scurrying of little creatures. Up ahead, you see a beautiful stand of trees, a sacred grove. You feel the pull, the familiarity. You know that something powerful is waiting for you there. Walking step by step by step, closer and closer and closer. You can feel the sunshine warming your skin, tickling each and every one of your skin cells like tiny little tickled batteries, feeding you, charging you up. Continuing to come closer and closer to the stand of trees, you notice that there's a pathway within them. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive at the entrance. You can see the path before you, this well-worn path, the ancestral path. Taking a nice deep breath, stepping onto that path, can feel yourself harmonizing and synchronizing to your ancestral path. You can feel the elders and the ancestors that have walked this path before you. It feels comfortable, at home. As you step into the shelter of the forest, perhaps you can notice a shift in the air. Maybe it's a little bit cooler in the shade. Maybe the air is a little bit moister. Dampness in the air, the rich smells of decomposition. As you continue to walk along the path, you notice the dappled sunlight as it peeks through the canopy. As you walk through this sunlight, it warms you on a soul level. As you continue to walk down your path, perhaps you can even notice the sounds of the creatures of the forest running through. And as you continue to walk further, you can even start to sense the presence of your guides and guardians as they approach. Entering your field, from the forest comes your guides and guardians, Anyone that wants to help support you on your journey today. Welcome them as they arrive, offering them your gratitude. So thankful for showing up to hold space with you. Continuing on your path, surrounded by support. You start to feel the arrival of a new path that is going to branch off from your ancestral one. This is your personal path, your unique path of power. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive at your personal path. This is your path of heart, unique to you. Perhaps it is well worn. Perhaps you're still trailblazing. Either way, take a nice deep breath. And step onto your path. As you do, feel yourself synchronize and align with your path of heart. Every footfall you take bringing you deeper and deeper and deeper into that space of connection. Walking along, take note of all that is around you. Is there any flowers growing? Any medicine along your trail? Continuing to walk, you can feel the presence and the essence of something magnificent, something ancient. This beautiful presence of the Divine Mother waiting up ahead. And as you continue to walk, you can see her in the distance emerging. A beautiful grandmother tree. Huge, wide, abundant. Her branches spreading so far. She is the mother of this sacred grove. It is from her that all of these seedlings grew first. And as you come closer and closer, her vision and her essence begins to crystallize within your sight. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive in front of her. You can see her expanse, her abundance, and you can see her hollow. This beautiful hollow within her, surrounded by glyphs, symbols, runes. And as you walk closer, the essence of your soul ignites these symbols. It's your unique code. And as you watch each one of them light up, you feel a deep trust as you take a nice deep breath and enter her. As you enter, perhaps the darkness and the shadows comes around you, but it feels so safe. You can feel yourself being held in this void, returning like the womb. And all of a sudden, you begin to drift down, 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 allowing yourself to fall gently, like Alice in Wonderland, slowly drifting down, like a leaf, down, 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 descending through the layers of consciousness, going down deeper and deeper and deeper, allowing yourself to go down, 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 deeper and deeper and deeper, down to the level that your soul knows is best for you to go today, to do this deeply transformative work. Continuing to fall and drift in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You arrive, landing softly and gently. You can see the beautiful light shining. You can see glimpses of your soul garden. Taking a nice deep breath in. And stepping out into your garden. As the brightness of your eyes adjusts, your garden becomes clear. Looking around, just take it all in. What do you see? What's growing beautifully in your garden? What might need some tending? So take another deep clearing breath and feel the presence of why you are here today start to rise within you. It's a pattern, program, story, belief, experience that is no longer serving your highest path. Allowing those feels to rise within as they come without to create a beautiful path. The path that expands before you is going to lead you to where this is planted in your garden. So following along your path, trusting your feet to be guided, trusting whatever comes up without judgment. Perhaps looking around and seeing what else exists as you take your journey. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive, and in front of you, you see this plant. You can tell that this plant is not meant to be growing in your garden. Trusting your experience, your emotions, your feelings, I'm going to invite you to sit in front of this plant, being present with it, just feeling the energy that exists. Taking another nice deep breath in. Reach forward and take hold of the plant at the base. As you make connection, you can feel the trickle in or flood in of memories, of feelings, of emotions, of experiences throughout your multidimensionality, where this energy signature is present. Allow it to come forward for you, weaving a tapestry of a story of why it's here, what medicine it has to offer you. Be open to its offerings. As that story becomes to crystallize, as that medicine offering becomes to crystallize, perhaps you can find it in your heart to be so incredibly grateful. This plant was here as a teacher, a very wise teacher. And as you integrate the medicine of the lesson, taking whatever emotional experience happened before, allowing it to be washed away with gratitude, thankfulness, new understandings, deeper understandings. And as you feel the gratitude rise within your heart, filling up like a cup, as it comes to its fullness, it overspills and flows down your hands, flowing into the plant, down into the roots. These roots that are connected to all the timelines, incarnations, dimensions, where this energy signature is present within your multidimensionality. And as you feel that rush of gratitude flow down through all of these timelines, incarnations, and dimensions, those roots then become soft and supple, retracting, releasing from the soils in which it is buried. Taking another nice, deep breath. Begin to pull that plant up. Every single one of its root tendrils releasing. Gracefully rising up and up and up. And gathering every one of those roots in your hands. As you hold this root ball, start to tune into what you wish to cultivate. What story do you wish to consciously weave for yourself? It's always good to start with love. Gratitude. Appreciation. Perhaps some forgiveness. A little bit of bliss. Trust your intuitive sense. How do you want to feel? Be seen. How would you like to perceive the world in this current situation? The power is in your hands, in your heart. In your emotions. Giving yourself permission to feel deeply as you call in this new reality. Perhaps you can imagine, sense, see, feel, and experience that the energy that is rising within you and flowing out of you has some colors, sounds, textures, luminescence. Perhaps some smells or tastes. Tapping into all of your senses to reweave your story, your pattern. Taking another deep breath in. Release your breath into these roots. and again, allowing your breath to amplify the intensity of the energy that you are allowing to flow from you. Perhaps you can imagine, sense, see, feel, and experience that these roots are becoming saturated, so full of this loving blessing that you are offering. You can feel it becoming so full that it's beginning to glow, bright and radiant, flowing, brightening, glowing, radiating, being so full of this juicy, delicious energy that you are cultivating for yourself. So full. Getting so much brighter and brighter, more radiant, glowing, until it's so bright that it's almost blinding, shining to the brightest, the most extreme capacity. And then taking another nice deep breath in. And planting it back. Sending those roots back to where they came from. Carrying with it this new information. Sending it back, all of these new codes to those timelines, incarnations, and dimensions. Carrying with it a new story. Giving permission for those ones to rise to their highest timeline, to their most brightest expression. You can feel as these roots go back deep, and going and reconnecting, planting firmly again into the fertile soils. And as those roots take hold, you can feel, sense, see, experience, imagine the new growth that is taking place. Something new is growing within. You can see the sprout growing and growing, growing up, tall, wide. And in 3, 2, 1, your plant has grown to completion and maturity. This new and beautiful harmonic plant is growing so well in your garden, aligning perfectly. However your plant has chosen to grow, it's offering you some medicine. If it is a flower, it offers its scent. If it's a fruit, it offers its body. If it's a plant, it offers its leaves. A herb, it offers its leaves. So if it's a tree, maybe some pollen. Whatever it is that has grown for you, take some of that essence. If it's a plant, breathe it, or a flower, breathe it deeply into your lungs. If it's a fruiting plant, take a bite. Just allow your teeth to sink into it and let its juices flow. If it's a herbaceous plant, maybe put it under your tongue. Same with the pollen. Taking that essence into your body, it sends that information cellularly to each and every one of your trillions of cells. carrying these new codes and information. Taking another nice deep breath. Inside out, just feel good about the work that you are doing. And looking around, seeing if the plant needs anything else. Does it need any weeds pulled around it so that it can grow fully? Does it need a little bit of fertilizer? Some mulch to protect it? Keep it insulated and safe? Perhaps you can imagine, sense, see, feel, and experience nearby the rush of water. Feel free to go, whatever vessel is there for you, take some of that water and go and water your plant. The water that you're drawing from is your stream of abundance. Take some of that water and water this beautiful plant so that it'll grow. Grow even beyond your wildest dreams and all that you can imagine. And when you're complete with the watering, go back to your stream of abundance. Look around and see, is there anything blocking that flow? Is there any boulders or log jams that you need to clear up? Is there too many weeds? Do whatever it takes to unblock that flow. So that that water is rushing through. Now, taking that vessel or your hands and dip them into that water again and see how that water, that flow of abundance flows in, and as you take it and drink that down, allowing every part of you to be nourished by this abundant flow. See that as you take the water out, there's more. It's never ending. It is infinite. That flow of abundance is so there for you. There's no scarcity. When you dip in and come back out, more will take its place. And there's enough for everybody. Now following that stream, down a little ways, perhaps you can notice another path opening up in front of you. I want you to follow this path. And as you walk along this path, in 3, 2, 1, you arrive at this beautiful, cute little well. And beside it is standing this magnificent beauty. This being of radiance. You feel so inspired as you come face to face with your muse. The muse smiles, eyes twinkling, as they offer you a drink from the well. This is your well of creativity. Drink as deeply as you wish. And as you are finished drinking, your muse offers you a gift. A slice of inspiration. Taking this gift, holding on to it, perhaps bringing it into yourself, putting it in your pocket for later. Perhaps you want to plant it somewhere in your garden. Finding your way back to that creek, the stream. Walk upstream. All the way up. All the way up and up and up. Headed kind of towards those mountains. And as you walk upstream, you can hear the rush like there's a waterfall. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive at the most beautiful rainbow waterfall you have ever seen in your entire life. And I wish to invite you to walk into that stream and under this magical waterfall. Allowing first the red to flow down, clearing out your root, shifting into orange, clearing and nourishing your sacral. Shifting to yellow, clearing and enlivening your sense of self-power, will, personal power, personal magnificence. Shifting to green, nourishing you at a heart space in your unconditional love and forgiveness. Going into the blue, your communication centers, your ability to hear, speak, be heard, be guided. Shifting into the beautiful indigo, waking up your vision. Your sight, your ability to see through illusions. Violet, washing away any disconnection to spirit and source. Allowing your higher channels to clear and be completely open. And as you emerge, drenched in goodness, feeling so clear on every level of your being, you notice your path back home. Walking along your path, taking note of anything that might have shifted within your garden. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive back at the grandmother tree. Can see as you walk up to her, those symbols, glyphs, runes, your unique energy signature lights up again. As you take a nice deep breath in, stepping back into the beautiful embrace of the grandmother, back into her womb space, back into the serene and peaceful darkness, being held totally safe and secure. As you begin to rise, ascending up, 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 soaring, flying, raising, levitating, going higher and higher and higher, ascending, rising higher and higher, up to the highest timeline available to you today. Continuing to rise even further than you thought possible. Continuing to go up and up and up and up, higher and higher and higher. And as you rise to that highest timeline available, you can feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter in frequency, lightening in density. And in 3, 2, 1, you arrive at that highest timeline, and you can see glimpses of your path of heart. Taking another nice deep breath in. Step back onto your path of heart. Step back into alignment as your feet land firmly in alignment with that path. As you walk, heading back to your ancestral path, take note if anything has shifted. Continuing to walk, reconnecting in 3, 2, 1, you arrive at your ancestral path, taking another deep breath in. And stepping back into alignment. And as you walk along that path, knowing that your footprints are leaving a trail for those that come after you. Putting your experience, your journey, and laying your own path, your own legacy. As you continue to walk, you may release your spirit guides and guardians, offering them food, holy water, sacred salt, and oil, whatever else it is that they need to fully nourish them as an offering in gratitude for their unconditional love and support of you and your path. They may stay or they may go, but do know that they are always with you. And as you continue to walk towards your garden, in 3, 2, 1, you arrive. Stepping back into your garden. 5, wiggling your fingers and toes as you call your spirit back from its travels, back from its journey. Remembering everywhere you have been and everything that you have done. Wiggling your fingers and toes as you integrate yourself back. 4, feeling your clarity and your presence starting to come back, moving your wrists and your ankles. 3, becoming so alive in your heart, perhaps moving your elbows and your knees. 2, being focused and clear and present. And 1, The left side of your mouth going up to your left ear and the right side of your mouth going up to your right ear, and a great big grin. And as you feel ready, as you feel able, allowing your eyes to gently flutter open, perhaps even focusing on one point in front of you, something to focus on. As you recollect yourself, bringing your soul totally into your body, totally focused. Taking a nice deep breath. So in our last minute together, I just want to welcome you back. Tell you I am so proud of you all. That was such a beautiful journey. I could feel on my side anyways. And if anybody wants to reconvene outside, then we can talk, we can share, we can integrate, and or even like go outside to some grass or something, because I know that we have another speaker coming in. And thank you everyone so much.
Let's give her a round of spirit. Thank you.